This is Tim Albright with AVNation at CEDIA 2016 in the ProAudio booth. I am here with Larry Reagan. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
You guys have a couple new speakers. You have gotten into Dolby Atmos a little bit more.
Right.
So let's talk about the new one first, and then also about the theater stuff.
Sure. So the new addition to the product line is a speaker called the SCR-S6C. This has been developed specifically as an Atmos channel.
Okay.
What we have is a coaxial driver with a very, very small footprint around it. It's only 8 inch by 8 inch. The coaxial driver has a true compression driver mounted into the center, so we have the ability to bring high sensitivity to the channel. In other words, very high output, big dynamics. The tweeter is rated at 105 dB at 1 watt.
Okay.
The woofer at 93 dB. So the maximum output of this very tiny little speaker is around 114 decibels. As you can see, it's all metal construction. It's complete with an inboard crossover system, so that it only takes 1 amp channel to drive it. It doesn't require biamp. So there's 2 versions of this available. You'll notice the model here, it's called the 6C IW. It's an in-wall version. It's shallow enough to actually go into 2x4 walls, so it can also be used for distributed audio applications. But for Atmos applications, you've got the driver flat, so it can go directly overhead, be firing right down at the listeners. Then we also have the one with the angled adapter on it. So if it's mounted at the front of the room or at the rear of the room, we can angle the speaker to fire back across the listening position.
All right, so talk about that for a second. Why Atmos specific, obviously, applications?
Sure.
I say obviously, I'm going to have you explain why that's obvious.
Sure.
Why are the speakers angled for Atmos?
Because we need to have the customer be able to hear the whole frequency range. We don't, if he's got a speaker mounted in the seat, he could be way off the axis of the high frequency driver and only really be hearing the mid-range and the low frequency content. By being able to angle the speaker, we're able to get the whole frequency range fired at the listener, so he hears the whole content of what's coming out of that channel.
So you're saying that you would actually prefer, that you use these angled ones so they get the full frequency as opposed to ceiling mounted ones?
Based on the position, this would still be ceiling mounted, but in Atmos, what we're asking for is speakers that are mounted just up above the screen, so still well in front of the listening position. We want those firing toward the listeners.
Okay.
Likewise, the ones at the rear of the room, we would want those playing across the whole listening position. Any that are directly over the listeners, we would want the one that fires straight down, so we have both options available for the dealer.
Okay, very good. You also have a Atmos theater going on?
Very exciting display going on in our demo room. It's a 9.2.4 system, using, of course, all of our professional grade speakers and our amplifiers to drive the system. Very exciting output levels. We can reproduce live rock concert technology. The sound of the movies, just like what you would hear at a theater. We invite you to come in and get a good listen here at the show.
You said a number there that I want people to key on, because as we are all learning about Atmos, 9.1.4.
Yes.
So 9 is the number of regular speakers. 0.1 typically was the subs.
Correct.
Right? 9.1, there's 1 sub. 9.2 surround sound, there's 2 subs.
Right, this is 9.2, so we have 2 subs in the room.
So you have an extra number.
Oh,
what is the extra number?
The 0.4 is how many channels do you have mounted up on the ceiling.
There you go.
The higher end Atmos channels.
All right, very good. Larry, how do people find out more about you guys?
Oh, by all means, visit our website, proaudiotechnology.com.
All right, very good. I'm Tim Albright with AVNation. For more information about us, avnation.tv.